Hey guys, today we're looking at another controller, this one here.
FightBox!
Inside the box we've got a controller, the FightBox F-Pro, sent to us from the fine folks over at FightBox Arcade. You can get it in a black or white aesthetic, and then this particular model comes with 17 buttons, so 5 beyond the standards from days past. The F-Pro currently costs $129 USD, and then turning the device over in the hands, we can tell there's definitely some metal in the case construction. Now alongside the controller, the package also contains an instruction manual and an appropriate cord. This one has a USB-B end to slot into the device. There is also a tiny baggie of little plugs so that a user could block off different button areas to reduce the total count if they were so inclined. And speaking of the buttons, the FightBox comes loaded with Sanwa offerings. The center jump function is 30mm, whereas the rest are 24. The USB-B connection, along with the Sanwas, take me on a journey back to the previous generation of fighting games and controllers, before all of the wafer-thin all-button models with the red MX switches that we see these days. I feel like most probably know the Sanwa brand since they were the go-to default for years. They have rims, they actuate without a ton of force, and they stick up only about this far, making the slides very good if that's an input technique that you look for in a controller. And this is what they sound like. By way of dimensions, this one measures in around 1.5 inches tall, then 8 inches wide, and then about 14 inches across. So not pocket size, but definitely still portable. Not having a joystick sticking up also makes it easier to toss into a backpack. The metal construction kicks it up to right around 3.3 pounds. All in all, it feels pretty sturdy with a good amount of real estate on top, and this is how it compares to some competitors' offerings. If we wanted to tear it down to change up buttons or plug holes, it opens up very easily. We've got 6 screws that need removed, and then it comes right apart. Inside we can see the Sanwa buttons, the cabling, and the FightBox RP2040 Advanced breakout board. All very simple and intuitive. This board works for my purposes, but as far as all compatibility, FightBox Arcade offers different versions to make sure you can order a device to play on the system of your choice. Now, customization for this will be a bit lacking if you come in here expecting LEDs and OLED splash screens, but maybe there are some of you who find that no-frills aesthetic a bit more classic and refined. Gameplay was great and I experienced no issues during my time with the device. It reminds me a lot of the old school hitboxes from back in the day. One thing to note is that a user's hands are purposely close to each other the way one would use a keyboard. One of the benefits of this is that both thumbs have easy access to the center jump function, though that may be less critical now in this particular model with the addition of the extra jump above the down function in that WASD area of the controller. If a user didn't want access to these additional functions, then they can disconnect the Sanwas, remove them, and plug the holes of the offending buttons. I typically like more options, up to a point at least, so I kept them all functional and as they were. To me it felt like a classic all-button controller, so I kept forgetting that they had that extra jump function in there. I'm still more reliant on that 30mm center one, it seems. And speaking of classic, I had to jump back into training mode on SF5, and that was a fun trip down memory lane. Good times. Now, FightBox kindly provided a review controller for this video, but they are continuing their generosity by giving away one of these F-Pro controllers you see here to a viewer of this channel. To winner, simply leave a comment down below telling me what your preferred number of buttons is in an all-button device. Maybe the classic 12? Or are you someone who makes use of 20 or more? I'll grab a random winner from the comment section in a week. Full rules in the video description. Good luck. So if you like this style of controller, head on over to the FightBox Arcade website to check out all of their offerings. They've got quite the assortment these days. Huge thanks to them for gifting an F-Pro to one of you guys, and hey, if you made it to the end, huge thanks to you as well. More giveaways on the horizon, and make sure you check out the community selected FGC Spotify playlist from the last one. Support your locals, and I'll see you next time.